Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, hello. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I'm not going to look at comic books. We're going to take another look at some more comic book novels. I've done that a few times before. Had the Batman novels inspired by the animated series, etc. The series of Marvel novels from about 45 years ago. Spider-Man, Hulk, etc. And then, a couple of weeks or so ago, they did one of various comic book and comic book like characters in books. This time it's going to be all Marvel characters, and they are novels. But we're going to start off with this one, which is a young adult novel. It's a Spider-Man super thriller, The Deadly Cure, featuring the Hobgoblin. And it's also got Daredevil in there, by Bill McKay. Yeah, I mentioned Bill McKay before. He wrote one of those other books I was talking about, and he wrote some Indiana Jones novels back in the 80s, or early 90s, whatever that was. It says, the secret formula everyone wants. A scientist finds a way to create perfect humans, heal the lame, and cure the sick. Dr. So-and-so's new formula can even turn ordinary people into super beings. Everyone who finds out about it wants it, but who will control it? And this is from 1996, and there are illustrations. There's like a half a dozen illustrations plus chapter heads. And the chapter heads like Hobgoblin. And this next one is also a YA. All of a sudden that lighter dies on me. And this is X-Men Second Genesis. Bullseye fiction. Does give... But from what I understand, and this is based by on a Len Wein comic book story. So, but this is adapted by Paul Mantell and Avery Hart. Cover illustration by Dana and Del Thompson. And text illustrations by Aristides Ruiz. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this one has quite a few illustrations. X-Men swinging into action. I'm unfamiliar with the comic story it's based on. There's another good one. Storm doing her storm thing. And this is from 96, was it? 94. And we're going to have something that's a little different there. Yes, it is. Star Trek, The Next Generation, teaming up with the X-Men. So, there's a cross-universe, cross-time, etc. This is by Michael Jan Friedman, who wrote a whole host of Star Trek novels and Star Trek comics, as well as a bunch of other things. But this is Planet X. Now, from what I understand, this is actually a sequel to a crossover comic book miniseries, which I have never seen, but and this one does not have any illustrations in it, and it so they you see some of the other novels, and they'll advertise list this novel, but also it'll be advertised in the the Star Trek novels, and this is before the first movie, isn't it? 98, yeah. So this is before the first X-Men movie. And I kept thinking, Patrick Stewart's got two parts in here as Picard and Professor X. And here we go. Boom. Captain America, Liberty's Torch. And it's a foil cover, so I don't know what's going on here. Liberty's Torch is a militia group that feels America has fallen from its position of strength by selling out to foreign influence and allowing its moral fiber to erode. Gee, that kind of sounds familiar. And this is from, where is it? 1998 by Tony Isabella and Bob Fingeroth. Oh, no, I said that wrong. Ingersoll. I didn't read it right. Bob Ingersoll. Have I read this? A lot of these books, most of these books, I haven't gotten read. Call it, well, yeah, and have illustrated chapter heads. And this is about a dozen. It's actually Baker's dozen of books, and I have many more. I have some bunch from DC, and I still have other Marvel books, and there are several out now and in the last few years. Just go to the Barnes and Noble and into the science fiction section, and some in the young adult section, and you can find them, a variety of them. This is Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. I've got another Daredevil. I couldn't find it though. I wanted to. That one was about Bullseye. This is a mysterious marauder called the Cutter is murdering innocent people in Hell's Kitchen. And this is, so it's Daredevil, The Cutting Edge, by Madeline E. Robbins. Totally unfamiliar with him. Yeah. And it also has illustrated chapter heads. Then we go to this one here. Oh, Spider-Man, the Sinister Six combo. This is nice, big and fat. Ooh, it's been from 2004. This is actually two novels in one. They were published separately initially, and then put in a combo because they were the two stories were tied in. This is by Adam Troy Castro, and this has got, yeah, also has, I keep it, let's see, yeah, it also has illustrated chapter heads. And here we have Spectacular Spider-Man Carnage in New York by David Michelini and Dean Wesley Smith. And this one is from 1995. And I think this is part of a series of these, with a cover painting by Julie Bell. I think looks like Julie Bell. Most of these are Spider-Man books, and because Spider-Man is the most popular, so they've the one that they produced the most. Gripping new thriller. This is Spider-Man Wanted Dead or Alive by Craig Shaw Gardner. And sometimes they got the date on the back and sometimes they don't. This is should be from about the same time. Yeah, 1998. That was the hardcover. The paperback is 1999. Yeah, I think this is related to this group of. No, that's it. I'm thinking of a different one. And this also has illustrated chapter heads. Each one is a different illustration based on the contents. And I enjoy reading these for one reason, because you have to have there's except when they have multiple volumes, and I hate that multiple volume stuff because it's hard to get all the books. Hard to catch them. That's why I just hate trilogies, because trilogies are harder than hell to complete. Here is Spider-Man Emerald Mystery by Dean Wesley Smith. This is a nice painting, cover painting. And yeah, and still also illustrated chapter heads. See, most of these will have chapter heads, illustrated chapter heads, and only a few actually have illustrations in the story, and it makes sense to have some more illustrations, just because they're based on comic book characters, and just a few illustrations does not make them a kid's book either, because most of these are traditional adult novels. I only had the two of them that I showed initially that were young adult, juvenile novels. Here is Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk team up together in Doomsday Book 1 Rampage. See what I think? Book 1. I've never seen any others. Book 1. And an all-new adventure by Marvel Comics writers Danny Fingeroth and Eric Fine, with illustrations by Stephen Butler. Oh my gosh! And I don't know who did the cover. This is from '96. Just added. There it is. And illustrated chapter heads. Oh, and Stephen Butler, he was, I've talked about him many times. Then we go to The Incredible Hulk, Abominations, the new novel by Jason Henderson. Yeah, Jason Henderson, author of Highlander, The Element of Fire. Yeah. With illustrations by James W. Fry. And again, illustrated chapter heads. This is good because it's got the Abomination, and I like the Abomination as a villain. But this time I think they have to actually... And I think they have to team up. I'm not sure. And then this is the most recent one. This is from 2018, I think it was. Is The Avengers. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Dan Abnett. Does this have... I don't see any. The Avengers. No, I don't see any illustrations. Not even a frontispiece, which surprises me. And then we'll finish this up with the X-Men Doctor Doom, the Chaos Engine Book 1. Again, and I've never seen any of the others. by Stephen A. Roman. Of course, this is big trade paperback. Cover painting by Bob Larkin. See if it's got the date on the back. No, it doesn't. Book 1 of an all-new trilogy by Stephen Roman, who wrote Untold Tales of Spider-Man. Illustrations by Mark Buckingham. Let's see some of the illos. Right there, and it doesn't want to open it. Yeah. Oh my. That's Angel and a Lady. What year was this and from? I think this is 90s also, or early 2000s. Yeah, 2000. So this would have been about the time. I have others too. I have a Fantastic Four somewhere. And anyway, it doesn't matter. But that's all I've got to share with you this time. A bunch. And so, have you ever seen or read any of these novels? I've had some, when I did some of the books before, commenters say, "Oh, I didn't know they even did any novels of comic book superheroes." But yeah, they do. They have had a lot, both Marvel and DC, and some from a few others of the other publishers, which I don't have any of, and as well as original novels of original superheroes. So that's all I have to share with you this time. So please like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. And remember, comics are art.